ACE Online welcomes all of you once again to another session on RBI Assistant examination, which is going to be held just another 3-4 days time. So today's topic is the last minute tips for success in RBI Assistant examination. I am Dr. C.S. VEPA. I am the course director in ACE Online. First, let us see, have you downloaded the admit letter? It is available now for downloading. You please download now. How to download this call letter? You have to visit RBI website, and in the center you can see so many the latest things. In the down you can see recruitment related to announcements. You have to click that, then you will be able to see these two things. Recruitment for the post of assistant 2021 preliminary online exam call letter and information handout. You please click that, and then you will be taken to another page like this, call letter and information handout. First you go to call letter, then you have to come back and you have to select the information handout like English or Hindi. If you click call letter, then you will be able to see this page, and here you have to give the basic details like this: registration number, then your password, etc. to access your admit letter. So if you have not yet downloaded, you please download now immediately after this particular session. Once you download the call letter, you please go back and download the information handout also, which contains lot of valuable information. Clear? There was some tense moment because this call letter is made available only this afternoon, maybe around 3 o'clock. So many students were subjected to a lot of anxiety. What happened? Why RBI is not allowing us to download? Is there any chance of getting postponement, etc.? Now, it is real, it is true that the exam will be held as it is scheduled. So let us go back and see. Once you download the call letter and information handout, you have to go through each and every word. That is important. Okay, it is not that you take care of what is that exam center, the time, etc. So you have to go through every word. That is what you are supposed to do tonight. Then whatever document it is asking you to prepare, carry, you please keep them ready and put them in one big size envelope and keep it at one place. Tell your parents or your family members that where you are keeping that envelope. Then everyone will be knowing, and on the examination day, there won't be any stress to you. Keep everything, including pen, etc. We are going to discuss all those things. Keep them ready tonight itself. That is part of preparation. Preparation does not mean only subject. Okay? Now, in the call letter, you will be knowing what time you have to attempt the test. For example, you may be called for morning 9 o'clock session, or maybe 12 o'clock session, or 3 o'clock session, or maybe 5 o'clock session. Whatever be the time, the exam will be for 1 hour, you know that. Every day, starting from tomorrow, you please practice at the same time. You need to practice at the same time. For example, if you have the examination at morning 9 to 10, you have to daily practice at that time. That means the mock test you have to practice. So what happens when you do like that? Your body, your mind, both will be tuned for performance at that particular time. Otherwise, you are tuned to particular thing. Maybe you are sleeping in the morning, you get up at 10 o'clock, now exam is 9 o'clock. If you do not change your habit at least these 3-4 days, you tend to continue that. You will be sleepy when you go to the examination hall, right? So similarly, some people have the habit of taking a nap after lunch. So your body and mind have to be adjusted. That is why, as per your examination timing, you please see that you take up one mock test at that particular time all these 4 or 5 days, so that you will be totally ready for the examination. Next, we will see what are the structure of the examination. There are only 3 subjects: English, numerical ability, and reasoning. And you know the number of questions, 30, 35, 35. Similarly, the marks, each question carries 1 mark. There is section-wise time limit, 20, 20, 20. So you are aware of this, and you also know that negative marks are applicable and you have to pass in every subject. Now, let us see what can be done first with respect to all the subjects. Fatafat, we will give small, okay, the last punch, okay, what to be done. If you have not done anything till today, okay, at least from this night onwards, you can do some preparation in the way that I am going to tell you. So read newspaper, at least for 1 hour you read English newspaper. We are reading English newspaper not to gather general knowledge or current affairs now. We want to familiarize ourselves to read the content in English. There is reading comprehension, you know that very well. Like that, there are so many things, the questions if you are attempting the exam in English medium, then definitely you should know how to read fast. So you need to make your eyes, okay, you give them some practice to read the content continuously. So from tonight onwards, till you finish off your examination, you start reading content in English. The best source for reading content is newspaper. So as much as possible, spend time in reading newspaper. That means English content. Now, maybe the Hindu is the best or any English newspaper would be fine. Okay, that there is no problem about that. Now let us see what else can be done. With respect to reading comprehension in the examination hall, first to go through the questions. In reading comprehension, normally the first 5 or 6 questions related to the real comprehension. Then we are going to have some questions related to vocabulary. So I want you to first go through those 5-6 questions which are based totally on the comprehension. Now the passages are lengthy. If you start reading the passage first, then you are reading the questions. While reading the passage, you are totally not clear about what to look for. But when you read the questions first, your mind takes note of it and you will be knowing very clearly what to look for. When you give clear instructions to your mind, the mind is going to work for you. So when you are clear about what to search for, you are going to find it very easily, comfortably. So the proven fact here is whenever you read the questions first, then you come to the paragraph, then you can go quickly and you can identify the answers also efficiently in very less time. In the examination, you have to save time. Every question, you must see that you solve it very quickly. So this is the technique I would like to share with you tonight. So you please follow this in the examination. You are going to score more marks than what you are supposed to get it. Next, synonyms and antonyms. If you do not have that much time, just you can go through directly the synonyms and antonyms and you can make a guess there in case you don't have time, right? If you give once a reading quickly, then you come to the synonyms or antonyms, you know exactly for that particular word what is the meaning that is used in the context, right? It is every word has some general meaning and it also having several meanings, and you should know very well in what context the word is used so that you can understand what meaning or what is the shade of the meaning that is really applicable or applied in the statement or the paragraph. So this is what you are supposed to focus when you are talking about English. The next one is jumbled sentence. If you have the habit of reading newspaper or content in English very much, you know very well how a sentence can start and how it cannot start. For example, can you expect a sentence starting like, but? No. That means something might happen prior to that. So you cannot expect but in the very first sentence of the paragraph. See, like this you will be habituated to understand or observe if you have the habit of reading newspaper. So now still time is there. You can make some difference in these 3-4 days. It is possible. So you please attack these things first in case you have not prepared well. And those who have prepared well, my suggestion is the moment you see the question, you make an attempt. Never search. For example, okay, you like jumbled sentences. Where is the jumbled text? First let me do. No, don't do that. Because time is too short, 20 seconds only, 20 minutes only. You have to read, you have to understand, you have to decide, and you have to mark. All these things happen within fraction of seconds. That means you don't have much time to that. So please complete the question as they are coming. Clear? And those who are not prepared that much well, at least you can prepare these areas, then you can score a decent one. This is about English. Then cloze test is also there, and whenever cloze test is there, the clue is please read the entire paragraph. There are some gaps, there will be some blanks. Despite that, you please read everything, then you will get an overall idea. With that overall idea only, you have to pick up the words for each blank. Never decide, okay, the first blank comes and what are the words, never do that immediately. If you do like that, you will miss the overall idea of the author, and if you miss that, you will not be picking up the appropriate words. Clear? First, author has written something, and after that, they have removed those words. You need to understand. This is how a cloze test is prepared. So if you read the entire paragraph, even there are some blanks, absolutely you will have the ability, okay, this is what author wants to say. Basing on that, it becomes easy for you to identify for a particular blank out of those given 5 words, which word is going to be the most appropriate answer. Okay, this is what you are supposed to do for the English section. Now coming to the numerical ability, then practice single digit multiplication and division. You might have been introduced to so many shortcuts. If you are practicing them, continue. If you have not practiced them, at least be thorough with single digit multiplication, single digit division. This is what bare minimum you are supposed to do. You have not prepared anything in numerical ability, at least from today onwards, you start practicing this. This is multiplication of 9 into 9. 1 into 1 to 9 into 9. If you can do this one, at least, then you can save a lot of time in the examination. Similarly, when you are going for the calculations, always use the basic calculation or conventional way of calculation. Clear? If you are not thorough with speed maths, you are not thorough with any shortcuts related to calculation, you please go with conventional method, because that is going to save time. Instead of thinking, what was that formula, how to calculate 3-digit, you don't waste time. Don't use the time in recollecting. It must be recollected on the spot. If nothing is coming immediately, that means go with conventional method, right? Every second is important in the examination. Next one, those who have not prepared much, at least now you can focus on ages, averages, simple interest, compound interest, and if time permits, time and work, time and distance. Then you have to focus more on data interpretation. Data interpretation is going to have more questions. That means if you can work on this, then you are going to score more marks in it, right? And whenever data interpretation is there, they will be asking the questions like, what is the sum, what is the difference, or what is the ratio, what is the percentage. That means the basic concepts are applied in data interpretation. So if you do not prepare till now much, at least you please revise these topics. You are going to come out with a decent score in numerical ability, right? Now, this is not the time for learning the hard things. It is not really the time to learn something new. But if you have not done much preparation, I suggest you please go through these things at least. This is a minimum thing. Those who prepared very well, now these are the topics which you have to revise, And data interpretation, you should score full marks as well as you should solve them quickly so that you have time for the remaining topics of arithmetic. Clear? So whenever you are trying to answer the questions, whatever you consider the answer, you please mark it. Please do not save it for review. If you save it for review, there won't be any time and you may not be able to come. Whenever you are trying to save an answer for review, please make sure that for that particular question, you mark answer, then keep it option of review, if at all you want. My suggestion is no question of review. Why? There won't be any time for you. Clear? So what the structure, the exam is structured in such a way that if you mark the question for review and you do not come back, that means you have not, it is considered as unattempted. If you mark an answer, then you keep it for review, then what is going to happen? Even you do not come back, whatever you mark, that will be considered as your answer. That is why do not fall into the trap of marking too many questions for review. Particularly that happens in numerical ability section. So it is like you are participating in running race. Fatafat you have to do it, go, finish off. You decide whether to attempt or not. Because in this competitive examination, which one you are supposed to mark? The most appropriate answer, not just correct answer. There is a difference between appropriate answer and correct answer. So my suggestion is whenever you are attempting the first choice, what you think, yeah, you mark it and come back. You are not sure, leave it. Clear? But never guess it. If you guess, that will be loss for you. I will illustrate with an example after some time. So numerical ability, nothing to worry. If you follow these things in this particular way, fine. And whenever there is a question on the in numerical ability, always after reading the question, you ask yourself, what am I supposed to do first, what am I supposed to do next, and what am I supposed to finally. You divide the question or your action into some steps, then it will be clear to you. Attack one step at a time. Never attack two things at a time. This is not the time for showing your multitasking abilities, right? So when you read the question, how to solve the question, you get an idea and they divide that into parts and attack one part at a time. This is very much required. Clear? So suppose there is a question on average, that means what are the values that I'm supposed to add and what is the total number of values. So you need to identify what numbers to be added, what is the total number, then you have to perform one particular division, you are going to get the answer. If it is a question on ratio, you need to understand what is the order that I am supposed to follow. Because one trap that people are, they face very much in ratio is they forget the order. In the question they might have given A is to B, but when it comes to the answer, they may be asking something in reverse. That is what you have to be careful, right? And when you practice the mock test, these are the things you will come to know that probable mistakes or these are the areas of improvement or learning. So overall, numerical ability, nothing to worry. Now you can focus on the simplifications by applying the Bodmer's rule. At least 4 or 5 marks you can expect from this particular section, right? So you have to enjoy every question. Whenever you think that a question is not leading you somewhere, you please ask yourself, where is the clue? Where is the clue? Ask yourself, where is the clue? And read the question. With that intention, when you read, you are going to find clue. If you say that, oh, this question is difficult, I cannot do it, then if you read the question again and again, it keeps on telling you how it is difficult and why you cannot do it. So, yadbhavam tadbhavati, that is what is going to happen. So, whatever you think, that will be manifested. So, please look for the clues. Clues will be seen by your brain. Clear? So, Your mental state is very much important in the examination. Clear? Do not worry. If suppose one question you are not able to solve it, leave that, move to the next question. You have 100 questions. Don't bother about one question, right? Jump and go to the next question. Clear? See, basically in competitive examinations, you are going to have some questions which are designated as speed breaker questions. Okay, 40% of the questions are easy to solve. Without much preparation, you can solve 40% of questions. They are average questions or easy questions. Then we have certain portion of questions which are considered as speed breaker questions. The paper setter specially frames them to kill the time. So whenever you come across with such kind of speed breaker questions, you need to jump. All youngsters, what do? Whenever the speed breaker comes? You will jump. You take the vehicle to the edge of the road or the speed breaker and you will jump. Rest all people like us, we reduce the speed, zero acceleration, then we cross it, then only we raise our accelerator. So, intelligent way of handling speed breaker questions is, the moment you spot a question is a speed breaker question, you need to jump. Don't hang on to it. Do not have any emotional connectivity with the questions. Hey, what is this question? How can it give trouble to me? I will see the end of this question. You may solve the question after 1 or 2 attempts, maybe after 2 or 3 minutes, but understand you are losing valuable time. Probably there may be another question which you can solve in 30 seconds itself. There are no special marks to any difficult questions. All questions carry equal marks. That is why whenever you are attempting such kind of competitive examination, do not bother about a question which is giving you trouble. Because purposefully paper setter has designed such kind of questions. Then you may get a doubt. How to know whether a particular question is a speed breaker question or not? Normally, whenever the data that is presented in the question, the paper setter takes a circuitous route. He will not just directly. He will use unnecessary words. He will repeat the words. With that, you can understand that he is interested in killing your time. Or any question which you are not able to solve in the first attempt, that can be considered as speed breaker questions, right? Fine. This is how you need to handle the numerical ability. Now let us move to the reasoning part. In reasoning part, if you have not prepared anything till now these are the topics you can master within short time. One is equality, inequality. This is what you need to master. It takes hardly 30 to 40 minutes. You can master it. So you may get 4 or 5 marks just like that. Clear? Next, syllogism is one more compulsory model. It takes time, no doubt. It may take around 5 to 6 hours to master it, but it is worth, because you are going to get 5 marks or maximum 4 to 5 marks compulsorily in the competitive exam. Next, blood relation, directions, ranking, order, all these you may get 1, 1, 1 or 2, 2, 2 questions. These are simple to master and they are going to be there in the examination. So you can learn them within short time and you can score marks. Then sequence and alphabet based questions, these are the things which you can answer provided you apply your intelligence in the examination. Never give scope for confusion. Clear? Always ask yourself, am I clear about it? Am I able to understand what the paper setter is trying to say? What am I supposed to find out? Clear? With that intention, if you read, then you are able to get it. Blood relation, always look at the last part of the question first so that you can understand what exactly you are supposed to find out. Even for directions also the same thing. Now, ranking and order, very simple questions. And when you know somebody's position from the right, from the left, then that means you can know the total number of people. Clear? Simple questions, but your presence of mind is very much required to get answers to those questions. If time permits, then work on coding, decoding and sitting arrangement. Do not take up the sitting arrangement first. Okay? No doubt. If you are very good in it, even then my suggestion is do not attempt the sitting arrangement first because it is going to take away your valuable time. You see that if you all prepared well, then those students who prepared well, they can place sitting arrangement maybe in the last or last but one. But do not take up the sitting arrangement in the beginning. If you do that, then you may be able to solve, but you might have consumed around 8 to 10 minutes. Okay? Whereas for these questions, you are going to get answer very quickly. Syllogism will not take much time because once you are clear about the concept, patapat, you can 10-15 seconds, you can solve a question. Clear? So this is the order I suggest you as an expert, one should take up in the examination hall. Please understand, do not give importance to your emotion. You may be very much connected with any particular topic. That doesn't mean that you have to take up in the examination as the first one. No, we are interested in final selection. We are not going to examination to satisfy our ego or any other thing. We want selection. For selection, how much score you can have, the highest one, that is important. How many questions you can attempt accurately within given time, that matters a lot. So this is how you need to plan and you have to follow in the examination hall. Clear? So each subject demands a separate strategy. Clear? And for all known models, irrespective of the subject, you must have a strategy for that. For example, what is meant by preparation? Preparation means for every known model, you should know what is your strategy. And you might have practiced few questions by applying that particular strategy. Clear? Don't look for strategy after reaching the examination hall. Okay? You cannot devise and design a new strategy after looking at the question. Not possible because it consumes a lot of your time. If you have the strategy for each and every known model, then the model comes immediately jump into action. The time in the examination should be used for action, not just for thinking and designing a strategy. Okay? That might have done during preparation stage itself. So be clear about what are the dynamics of this examination and how to utilize the time in a most efficient way. Clear? Fine, these are the subject. Now let us discuss few things connected with your performance. Mock test daily 1 or 2. Do not overdo the mock test. Clear? Maximum 1 or 2, that's all. Do not solve more than one mock test. Okay? And after solving each mock test, what are you supposed to do? Normally, students are interested in knowing just the score. Yeah, that's good, but that's not enough. Then what are you supposed to do? You need to understand what is your total score and section-wise score. Then make a note of it. Then go to each and every question. Go to question number 1. What is this question? What did I do in the examination? How was my thinking at the time? If it is a numerical ability question, what are the steps I have used? What is the final answer? Matching correct or not correct? If it is correct, how many steps I took? And how can I reduce the number of steps? Suppose you are taking 5 steps, then you should ask, can I solve it in 4 steps? If similar question appears or similar model question appears in the examination. That is preparation. That is learning. Got it? Mere score is not going to help you, but the moment you speak to the question, you learn a lot. And another scenario, your question number 1, you marked it wrong. You lost it. That means ask yourself, what exactly you wanted to ask? And did I go in the proper way? And why couldn't I mark it correctly? Where did I go wrong? If there are 5 steps, which step I made a mistake? You need to understand. Then that is going to tell you, Arey Baba, here there is an addition. Instead of addition, you made subtraction. Or It will tell you exactly what happened. That is going to be a new learning area for you. Suppose you came to know that you have not performed addition properly, then immediately start solving around 20-30 additions. That is the action you have to take basing on the learning you got from that particular question. Are you understanding what I am trying to say? To do this, you should use a lot of time. That is why one mock test or maximum 2 mock tests per day, not more than that. Clear? Like this, you have to speak to every question, and every question will teach you something or other. I want you to be benefited from mock test like this. So follow this technique. I will tell you, you'll be bubbling with enthusiasm because every question is going to tell you something or other. Next, look at what is accuracy and what is the speed. First, see that are you getting answers correctly or not. Then how much time you are trying to use for solving that particular question. So focus must be on accuracy, then repeated practice can increase your speed. This is what you need to remember. Now there is no much time for RBI or assistant examination. So try to understand from each mock test how many questions you are able to solve, how many you left. That is also going to give you an understanding of how your speed is. But never compromise at accuracy because your final score depends on how many questions you mark correctly. Clear? They don't see whether you solved all the questions or not. Now when you look at the final selection, it will be around 60%, 65%, that is enough to get the final selection. So I'm not advocating that you should leave some question, but any question that is giving you trouble or it is consuming too much time, it is better to leave it. But you must score or you must have gone through each and every question at least once to identify whether that is a question that you can solve or you cannot solve. So you need to attempt all those questions which you think you can attempt, thereby you can score well, and that may be enough for you to get into job. Clear? So don't worry about much about the speed, but keep an eye for each mock test. Are you improving the number of questions that you are attempting or not? Try to read fast. When you read fast, you can cover the content that is there in the question in less time. Even you can save 1 or 2 seconds per question, you will be able to save around 200 seconds. That means more than 3 minutes finally. That means everything is dynamic, okay? So then negative marks are applicable. So whenever you are attempting bank examinations, you need to understand you need to go for appropriate answer, not correct answer. If there are 2 correct answers, which one is the better one? You should be able to decide. If there is no correct answer, even then out of the given 5, which is the most appropriate answer, you should be able to identify and you should be able to mark it. Remember, whenever the instruction says appropriate, which is given in RBI Assistant examination, the compulsory rule is you have to say hi to each and every choice. That means you have to go through each and every choice before you finalize your answer. Okay, if you are skipping, it means that is not the proper way of attempting it. Clear? So some questions are direct. For example, for a particular question, 50 is the answer. Then you can search where the 50 is, because nothing else can be the answer. No other number can be the answer. Clear? But you have to see other types of questions where they say which of the following is the nearest to point C. That means what is nearest to point C is not the question. Which of the given choices is the nearest one? That is important. So there can be subtle differences like that. Then if you overlook them or if you ignore them, then you are going to miss it. Clear? So it's a competitive examination. You need to understand that. It's not an academic examination. There is no consideration for any wrong answers. Next, mark only if you are sure, 100% sure. If you are not sure, even 1%, leave that question unattempted. But never, never, never guess. If you guess, you are going to lose marks as negative marks. And whenever you mark any question for which the answer happens to be wrong one, how much you are going to lose? It is not 1 mark. You will be losing the 1 mark that is allotted to that particular question, and as a punishment you will be losing 0.25. That means it will be practically 1.25. So whenever your answer happens wrong one, you will be lagging behind other competitors by 1.25. If you make another mistake, it will be 2.5. Now it increases like that. So be careful. Never get into the temptation of guessing, and if you guess, you are going to lose marks. Guessing will not work for anyone. Clear? If you want, you can try randomly. Don't look at the questions and try to, in mock test, don't look at the questions and you start guessing. Let me see how it happens. So we have done all types of experiments, and guessing was never correct more than 15%. Clear? But that is not at all advisable in a competitive examination where negative marks are applicable. When negative marks are applicable, you cannot take risk. Okay? Just understand, every wrong question is going to pull you back from success. Now, general tips: practice 1 hour spells. And whenever you're practicing, you practice for 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, because your final examination will be for 1 hour. And what kind of dress you're supposed to wear for the examination? This is the summer season, and please be comfortable. It is not an interview. No one will look at you and no one will look at your dress. So there is no dress code, but wear a dress that is comfortable to you. Clear? Avoid skin tight clothing. Avoid jeans. Okay? Wear very, very loose shirt, loose pant, so that it will be comfortable to you. Then do not wear belt which tightens, okay, your pants to your body. Now, or if you are wearing, you please loosen the buckle, right, a little bit. Shoe not advised. Go with normal chappal so that you will be comfortable in that 1 hour. Transport, never drive your own vehicle. Maybe bike or car, you know driving, you know where the examination hall, but you don't drive. Clear? If you get a flat tire, what are you going to do? Are you going to leave the vehicle? No. You will be worrying a lot. You will be subject to a lot of anxiety, tension, pressure. Why to have that? Ask someone to drop you in the examination. You have family members, you have friends. What for they are? They have to be employed like this. You have to take help from them in these cases. Okay? So never drive a vehicle to reach the venue. Some more tips: breakfast and tips. Just if your examination is at 9 o'clock and you have to reach the place by at least an hour before, then you have some breakfast before that. Don't plan to have breakfast after reaching the venue or something like that. And avoid oily food. Okay? And if possible, eat some fruits. Fresh fruit juice, absolutely fine. Or nothing is available, don't worry, at least put some glucose in your water bottle and have it. Now, after lunch also, immediately after the lunch, you cannot take the examination. There should be a gap of 1.5 hours to 2 hours. You plan like that, okay? For anyone, whenever you take heavy food, what will happen? You feel a bit drowsy because part of your blood that is being supplied to your brain will be diverted to your digestive tract for some time. That is why the brain induces that sleepiness. And after some time, it calls that blood back and again you are alert. So observe silence. If tomorrow the examination from today, this morning onwards, you need to go for silence like a diksha. That means you are not supposed to talk unnecessarily. No discussions with anyone. And with your family members also, you try to spend very minimum talk, right? Or you just use the signs. When you are silent mode, you will have the ability to access your mental faculties. For that reason, you have to maintain silence at least for 24 hours. And on the examination day, please do not talk at all. Okay? Only for the examination conducting body and the people there, they are asking some questions, you have to respond, that's all. Otherwise, behave as if you cannot speak. Then what happens? You're keeping your energies for the examination. Once examination is over, then you keep on shouting, I don't mind. Okay? To the top of your voice, you can shout, but before the examination, observe silence. You can see the difference in your performance. Next, deep breathing. If you are not knowing any meditation, nothing to worry. Just please take 3 or 4 deep inhaling, deep exhaling before you start the examination. Again, that will cool down and that will make you grounded, and again, your focus, concentration will increase. Then adjust the posture. When you sit in a chair in the examination hall, you adjust the chair in such a way that you see the monitor straight, not turning even little bit. If your neck is not straight, after 10-15 minutes, it starts paining. So in the beginning itself, you adjust your chair in such a way that you face exactly the monitor. Then English alphabet. They give you one rough paper. By the time you go to your particular table, they place one rough paper on the table. On the rough paper, you please write down A, B, C, D up to Z, and similarly Z, Y, X in a reverse way, and also put the numbers if you are not familiar with the numbers. Okay? Do like this. At least 3 or 4 questions will be based on alphabet. Then definitely you can score those things very quickly. And you have to do this before the examination time begins. Clear? Thereby you can save at least 30 seconds. Okay? So this is also one technique. Then be ready for any subject. Don't say that, okay, first I should get reasoning, first I good reasoning. No. There can be anything. All 3 are randomly can appear. So there is no guarantee that a particular model or particular subject first is not like that. Any subject can appear. So why I'm asking not to expect, if you expect something and that is not happening, then you will be subjected to disappointment. Okay? When you have appointment, then there can be disappointment. When there is no appointment, you are neutral, then everything will be okay. Next, the most appropriate answer, I already told you. In bank examinations, you have to go for the most appropriate answer. Review option, this is also I covered already. Never mark any question for review, but if you are tempted to mark a question for review, please select an answer, then you mark it for review. That is the safe side. Because when you mark it for a review, that means you already worked on that question for some time. That means why not to leave benefit of it. Okay. Then countdown timer will be there on the right hand top side, and you have to keep on looking at it so that you will be aware of how many questions are over, how much time is over, so that you can speed up your thinking. Then after coming home, after completing the examination, have food and then take a notebook and write down everything that went right or wrong in the examination. So every examination will teach you some valuable lessons. If you do not record it, you will be missing it. So you please note down after coming home and after having food. Then some more tips. Reach the venue 1 hour before the scheduled time. Your examination starts 9 o'clock, at least you will be there by 8 o'clock or 8:15 maximum, right? Then paste passport size photograph, preferably the same photograph is what I have taken from the instruction sheet, or information handout. You please complete all these things tonight only. Then photo ID proof, which one you are going to take? Is it Aadhaar card? Is it PAN card? There should be photo identity. Clearly they have mentioned the list of the document that they are going to consider as photo ID. So you have to get the original and also photocopy. You go and get a Xerox copy of it and keep it ready, put it in the envelope. Everything you have to keep it ready and put it in the envelope tonight itself. The name on the ID card, that means the photo ID proof, and the name in the call letter should match. If it is not matching, then there are going to be problem. So you select such a photo ID proof where your name is perfectly matching. And for married women, if the photo ID is something and your call letter name is something particular, surname will be changing, or if there is a habit, culture of changing the name of the person, that also will change. You have to carry the relevant documents, including the name changing document and marriage certificate, etc. Then you are supposed to carry one ballpoint pen also. They did not mention black or blue, so you can carry any one. Then they also ask you to carry one stamp pad. Okay, so for your left hand thumb impression, they are going to ask you, and they ask you to carry your own stamp pad, and rough paper they are going to provide you, you need not carry. Then mask you should wear. Then water bottle they are permitting you, and they said transparent. That means you buy one water bottle, and the transparent water bottle, it contains water, and when you mix glucose, then it doesn't make any change. So you please have that glucose added water that will give you energy. And you have to carry personal hand sanitizer. Now all these are very common now because of the COVID, everyone is carrying them. Then they also said that you should have a mobile, and in that mobile, Arogya Setu app must be there active. So download it if it is not there, and after they check you for this Arogya app, then you will be asked to switch off your mobile and you have to deposit at a relevant place there. Okay. So these are the general tips, and if you follow all these things, I'm sure you can give the examination in a very comfortable and relaxed way, so that the best of you can be represented or will be put into use, and it will result in the performance in the examination time. Okay. And one more good news is given by RBI. It has come out grade B notification, and there are 238 vacancies. The details are, this is known as window notification. Window notification appeared in newspapers today, and probably by March 28th, the full notification may appear, and you can keep on visiting this RBI website. Do not search for RBI grade B now. You complete your examination. After you come back, then you can look for the detailed notification. March 28th is, again, it is far, and there is time for you. The examination is going to be somewhere in the month of May 28th. There is 2-month time. Clear? We come out with another video with the complete details once RBI places the full notification in their website. 238 vacancies is considered a very good number, and those who are serious, you can make it out. So why to wait to only, or why to settle only for assistant post? You can become grade B officer also. But now you have the assistant notification in the hand, call letter in the hand, and you please give your 100% preparation, 100% performance in the examination. And I, on behalf of Yes Online, I would like to wish you all the best. So please take care of yourself, prepare in a smooth way, follow all these things, then absolutely you will be damn comfortable in the examination. So Yes Online wishes you all the best.